Let me tell you, it feels great to be standing in this ring here tonight as the winner of the Royal Rumble. Not only did I prove myself against 29 other superstars, but I also earned the chance to challenge for SmackDown's WWE title or Raw's World Heavyweight title in the main event at Wrestlemania.
That's true, Taz. The Rumble winner has the option of jumping to Raw and facing Triple H for the World Heavyweight title, or challenging SmackDown's own WWE Champion, John Cena.
So without further ado, let me answer the question on everyone's mind and say that at WrestleMania, I've decided that I'm going to challenge for...
It's Theodore Long. The general manager has finally returned to SmackDown.
And not a minute too soon. We ain't seen T-Lo since he was run down months ago. You think he's got something on his mind?
Hold up a minute, player. Sorry to step on your big announcement, but I've got a couple announcements of my own. First of all, it's great to be back here on SmackDown.
Man, listen to the ovation for Teddy Long.
It's been too long since I've been in this ring. 6 months ago, somebody tried to take me out of the picture when they ran me down in the parking lot. Now, I'm sure that after all this time, he thinks he got away with it. But you see, there's something he didn't plan on. See, before I lost consciousness, the last thing I saw was the very face of the man who did it.
Finally, we're gonna find out who ran down Teddy Long.
And I'm looking at him right now. What? It can't be. I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Teddy Long must be delirious. Maybe he checked out of the hospital a little too early.
Well, I guess there's no point in denying it anymore. Yeah, I did it. And I don't regret it one bit. You had it coming, Teddy. Without you around to hold me back, I climbed the SmackDown ladder. I got into the Royal Rumble, and I earned the title match that I deserved. Not to mention the respect that goes with it. Winning the Royal Rumble guarantees me a title match at WrestleMania. That means you can't fire me, Teddy. Like it or not, there ain't much you can do about it.
I gotta admit it, player. There's not a lot I can do. But if you challenge for the WWE title and win it, then there's no getting rid of you. And if you jump to Raw and take on Triple H for the World Heavyweight title, SmackDown loses one of its biggest superstars, whether I like it or not. So it looks like all I can do is to make sure that you never make it to WrestleMania. And by the time I'm done with you, dog, you'll be lucky to make it to No Way Out. You feel me? Now, since we've got some unfinished business that started in a parking lot, then you're going to take on Eddie Guerrero tonight in a parking lot brawl. Holla, holla, holla! The road to WrestleMania begins tonight, but Theodore Long is on a personal crusade to ensure that the #1 contender never makes it there. Under the circumstances, I can't say I blame him, Taz.
Hey everyone, welcome back with Bean O'Mac. Today we're going to continue our playthrough of WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2006 as Carlito on the Smackdown brand, of course, as you can see. And yeah, as you just heard right there at the beginning of the season mode, Teddy Long was run down by a mysterious assailant. And Teddy Long decided to wait all this time until he actually came back to tell everybody. It was actually the guy who was going around, you know, the backstage environments and whatnot, asking everybody else who they thought did it. So it's a pretty cool storyline. Like I said, there's two different paths that can happen here. The alternate path that we didn't get was that RVD wins the WWE title at the Royal Rumble, and then he brings back, or attempts to bring back, ECW, and Chris Jericho, of all people, you know, comes out and says he did it. Once again, I think it's just because, you know, he just says something along the lines of, yeah, I just felt like it or something like that. But it's been a while, so I can't actually remember off the top of my head exactly. But I remember it was just kind of a dumb reason. And this storyline is kind of like, you know, it's where your character turns out to be the one who did it. And yeah, unfortunately for Carlito, yeah, that afro was like unmistakable here. So yeah, he's kind of caught right in the act. But once again, it kind of has to make you wonder why he didn't really tell you one, didn't say anything, like phone in the office and say, hey, yeah, pretty sure it was Carlito. But now he's going to put us through the ringer here, folks. Although I always find it odd, like this game has a thing where like it'll, not even a 1? That's ridiculous. But like it'll, a lot of times it'll tell you like, alright, you're going to have a parking lot match. And it's like, I don't think that's really how that works. You know, they should, it should just be like how they have it in 2007, where I know that the parking lot brawl with Eddie and Cena, but I don't know. I think it would just make more sense. Like, all right, well, you know, you're off for the night, and then you go to the parking lot, and Eddie Guerrero's in there waiting for you. I think that would have been a little bit of a better thing, in my opinion, at least storyline wise. But it's also kind of weird because I'm pretty sure in this story mode, there's actually, I think a lot of people forget about it too. I do a lot. I don't know how common it is for people to forget it. Like, obviously, there's the bar brawl and the parking lot brawl, and both of those had new additions that made it into Smackdown vs. Raw 2007 in the sequel. But in this game, they also have the backstage brawl. And I don't know why, it just never gets used in, like, the story mode for whatever reason. So, I don't know if they just didn't really like it, and obviously they never brought it back, so who knows. But I don't know, the Smackdown vs. Raw era was kind of weird in general with backstage fighting. But I don't know, I'll speak more on it after this cutscene. Oh, actually we don't have a cutscene. But yeah, I mean, even then, you have the whole... Because like, it was always weird, the backstage brawls in the Smackdown vs. Raw series, I feel like. Simply because... I mean, like, why? Like, Here Comes the Pain in the SmackDown series had the big interactive environments and all this and that, and you could go from place to place pretty much during any Anywhere Falls match that you wanted, and I don't know, it's just weird to me that they decided that in the original SmackDown vs. Raw, I think that's when they had just the backstage brawl in general. I could be wrong, but I think it was just one area. But I can't remember off the top of my head because I never really play that game as much as the other ones. So I mean, I don't understand why they had that as a separate thing and why they stopped having it where you can explore the backstage and all that sort of stuff. And then you had, you know, like the 3 backstage environments in this game, but then you have, you know, 2 in 2007, but they are highly interactable and it takes advantage of that environmental grapple mechanic that started in that game, so that was pretty cool. And then I think 2008, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they actually got rid of the backstage brawls in that game, and then they came back in 2009 in the same format. Like, I think you had 2 areas, which was the locker room and I think it was just like the general backstage area or whatever. But it was actually pretty big. But once again, there wasn't really much to do in them. And then I think 2010, that's when they... It's still not the same as how it was in Here Comes the Pain. But I think that's when they once again finally brought back all the backstage environments. And I think a good portion of why that... I think the reason why that is because that's the first game to have the creative story mode. So I think they were like, alright, well, if we're going to have all these areas where, you know, you can put your creative story in, we got to have you be able to fight them, fight inside them and stuff like that. And then 2011, I think, kind of had like literally just the same exact areas as like 2010. But I think once again they were still like separate match types. And I'm pretty sure you can fight in all of them. Yeah, unfortunately the emulator that I play on, it has like this glitch where you don't see the grayscale stuff, and it messes up the whole screen for some reason. Emulators are weird at times. But it's kind of interesting that even JBL is freaking joining in on this assault on you. Alright, it's been a while since I've done a cage match. But he's also not staying down. I guess he's only got an orange hat, but still, I mean, that's 2 finishes right in a row.
Look at these superstars, Cole. I mean, they're not even contemplating the fact that they might lose here tonight.
They've sacrificed so much to get here, Taz. I don't think they can allow that.
I wonder, though, like, it would make more sense for these people to be attacking you if, like, it was, like, Teddy Long also said, you know what, whoever is the guy who actually does injure the contender gets a spot at WrestleMania or something like that. I feel like it would make more sense why guys like JBL and Eddie Guerrero are attacking you so willingly. But I don't know, I guess you just got to make the connection yourself or something like that, or they think they're going to get in the good graces of Teddy Long. And also, it's kind of annoying because we already fought these guys. And I feel like there's definitely more people on the Smackdown brand they could have taken advantage of, even if it's, you know, even if it's not necessarily like the main event kind of guys or whatever. You know, I mean, it would have been nice to see more variety of characters, I feel like. Maybe they could have even had Muhammad Hassan on here. It's actually pretty interesting when you think about it, because I think Muhammad Hassan was actually gone for months at this point. So I think it was around July he got let go. So for him to be, you know, to stay on the game after everything that happened during that year and stuff like that, I'm surprised they didn't get any sort of controversy for that. Gosh dang it.
He anticipated that move perfectly.
But they definitely had a lot of characters that were cut from this game. I'll probably go more into some of the beta stuff that was unreleased and whatnot, and when I do the challenge videos or something like that. Just because, I mean, that's going to be all, you know, no cutscenes, and I'm going to have to have something to talk about. Because, I don't know, those could be like 3-hour videos, to be honest. Depending on how long, you know, it takes me to beat these challenges and stuff, but that's probably going to be the last things I do. Man, they keep reversing me, and they reverse you at the right times, too. Oh, man, I thought I reversed that. That's the thing that kind of stinks about certain move animations, is it's usually based off of like one particular move animation. So like that powerbomb animation obviously is like the one that they based the powerbomb reversal animation on. So like I would not recommend, as cool as it looks and devastating as it looks, that's kind of like the thing I would not recommend using as like a freaking move that has a reversal animation based off of it. No Mercy as well, like there's that like underhook suplex variation where like it looks like they reverse you, but then you like knee them before you finish it off or whatever. Oh my god, he just will not stay down. No, I don't want to attack the ref. Come on. Targeting in this game is crazy. That's something that I definitely think the Aki games had an upper leg on in this series, though, was the targeting. Because you can only change your target depending on who, you know, how close you are. It's like the closest person. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. Woo! We did it. That's pretty cool. Meanwhile on Raw.
Listen to me, Bischoff. You're the general manager of Raw. You can't let that piece of Smackdown trash come to Raw and challenge for the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. This is my title. And he hasn't done a damn thing to deserve a match with me.
Actually, he has, Triple H. See, he won the Royal Rumble, which guarantees him a title match for either brand's top title. That's a stipulation that comes from the board of directors. I couldn't do anything about it, even if I wanted to. And quite frankly, were he to make the jump to Raw, I think a superstar of his caliber would be a tremendous asset.
An asset? An asset? More like an ass clown, if you ask me. Listen, Bischoff, I damn near killed myself winning a #1 Contenders match last week. And if anyone's getting a World Heavyweight title match at WrestleMania, it's Y2J.
Chris, while it's true that you're the current #1 contender, you know that the decision of the Rumble winner supersedes that. If he decides to challenge Triple H, I'm afraid I have no choice but to postpone your title opportunity at WrestleMania, #1 contender or not.
Well, if that's how it's gonna be, then it looks like the cerebral sad sack and I better discourage a certain Rumble winner from coming to Raw.
Jericho, you may be a sawed-off Oompa Loompa, but you know what? For once, I agree with you. Let's go.
Alright, so we're back. And it seems like we got some interesting turn of events going on Raw here. Because technically, yeah, we have not picked our brand. And this was kind of around the time where that was still like a big deal. Because I think that's what Chris Benoit did, if I remember correctly. And yeah, because it makes sense around this time that they kind of really pushed that. But I think that was the only time, if I remember, where they actually kind of used that rule. Because after that, you know, this year was, you know, the people, you know, obviously Batista went after Triple H on Raw and Cena was on SmackDown. But I think it was after that is when the draft kind of swapped both titles around. So that, like, so that was a pretty cool shakeup, at least in my opinion. But then I feel like they always kind of threw the option out there, like, hey, this guy could go to the other brand, you know, after winning the Royal Rumble. But I don't think it ever really felt too genuine, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think anybody ever picked the other brand's title after winning the Royal Rumble again. Because you had Rey Mysterio for the World Heavyweight. Then you had Undertaker for SmackDown. And 2008, who the heck was that? That was John Cena, and obviously he was sticking at Raw. 2009. And I'm drawing a blank on that one. Was it Randy? Was it Randy Orton? I think it was. And I think him and Triple H went after each other. Which maybe they did then. I can't remember. I don't think they did. Because I remember Triple H was on the Smackdown brand on SmackDown because it was in such dire straits. And I remember they swapped the titles around again. So that the World Heavyweight title, because CM Punk won it at Money in the Bank. Then he brought it back to Raw. And then the WWE Championship went with Triple H to SmackDown. And I just... And then it somehow got swapped back again. Which may have been something to do with that Randy Orton feud, but I don't know. I can't quite remember everything off the top of my head, if I'm being 100% honest here. It's been a long time. I kind of also fell off around that time too. But yeah, then Edge won the Royal Rumble. He was on SmackDown. He fought Jericho. And then you had 2011, I think, was like the last one before the brand split really had that rule still, and was kind of the original brand split anyway. And then they had freaking Alberto Del Rio win it, and that was kind of just a very uneventful, you know, match with Edge, you know, completely overshadowed by the fact that Edge, you know, retired soon after that. At the same time, like, I think that was the opening match or whatever, but I just remember it not, like, it just didn't matter at all in the grand scheme of things. It was just a nothing match. So, I don't know, like, that was kind of around the time, especially, like, I like the PG era. I don't think it was as bad as people say, which, you know, you're entitled to your opinions. I know I'm in the minority there. But, yeah, that was definitely around the time where, like, guys kind of got runs, you know, new guys, I should say. You know, they got runs or they got big accomplishments, and then they just never amounted to literally anything. So, like, you know, Alberto Del Rio, you know, his first run, obviously he was pushed really quickly. I think he came at the tail end of 2010 to feud with Rey Mysterio. And that was a pretty interesting feud. At least I thought so. And then he won the Royal Rumble. And like I said, I mean, he just lost the title and it was kind of treated as like nothing. You kind of felt, you know, like you kind of felt like the Chris Jericho, essentially, of that feud, because I think like that's when Christian won the title soon after, or wait, no, I'm thinking of Randy Orton. So yeah, I mean, freaking Alberto Del Rio, it's kind of like he was put in that position, but he wasn't treated as a threat. Sheamus, I feel like, was a similar thing, and you know, a lot of times too, like, people talk about the quick runs in the Attitude Era, and there were definitely some quick ones, but I remember 2010, like, you had the title for 2 months. It was like, all right, here you go, good luck. Because I think it was at the start of 2010, Sheamus won it because he won it at TLC 2009. And then 2 months later at Elimination Chamber in February, he lost it to John Cena. Then Batista won it, I believe, immediately after the match, Edge style, but he didn't have the Money in the Bank briefcase. It was just, Vince was like, hey, look, you're going to have another match. So then Batista lost it at WrestleMania. John Cena held on to it for 3 months, I believe. Or wait, no, because he beat him at Extreme Rules, then over the Edge. So then he lost it to Sheamus again at Money in the Bank. And then Sheamus lost it at Hell in a Cell in October. I remember watching that match personally, because I remember around that time it was always like Randy Orton had Sheamus's number, essentially. And Sheamus always seemed to have had John Cena's number as well. And then Randy Orton, he freaking lost it to The Miz after a cash-in. So yeah, I mean, it was a lot of WWE champions, and that's not even including all the title changes for SmackDown. You know, I think they, at the beginning of that, I forget who was the World Heavyweight Champion, but I remember, oh wait, no, it was Undertaker. He was the World Heavyweight Champion at the beginning of the year. And then Jericho somehow won it, the Elimination Chamber, because of the help of Shawn Michaels, and that was a great feud, Shawn Michaels and Taker, a great setup. Then Jericho lost it literally 5 days after WrestleMania to Jack Swagger, of all people. Like I said, they had a lot of new guys that they tried to push, but they didn't really do a good job, especially build up either. I remember Jack Swagger, like, the thing I remember is they lost to Triple H in like under 5 minutes or whatever on Raw for a Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And then all of a sudden I'm supposed to believe he wins Money in the Bank and he's a freaking world champion contender. It's bogus. But then Rey Mysterio ended up winning the World Heavyweight title, I believe, at Fatal 4-Way. And then, I believe after that, see, it's too much to keep track of. Oh yeah, Rey Mysterio won it. Then Kane won it because they debuted Money in the Bank, the pay-per-view that year, even though they already had one at WrestleMania. So that was 3 Money in the Bank winners that year, because that was the first one where they had the Raw and the SmackDown Money in the Bank briefcases. Kane won the SmackDown one, cashed it in, so that way, you know, he beat, I think he cashed it in the same night as well. So he pretty much just kind of eclipsed Jack Swagger's entire thing, you know, about being the fastest cash-in guy and all this other stuff. So I think they were already trying to cover up, you know, for their failures with Swagger right away. And then, you know, Kane won it. Then I remember Edge beat him for the title at the end of the year around that time. And Kane, that was like one of the worst World Heavyweight title runs I've ever seen. All right, slow count can't keep me down.
How you feeling now, player? Get a little beat up, did you? Maybe having some trouble getting to your feet? Well, you're still in better shape than I was after you ran me down, dawg. And since you're still standing, I'm gonna go ahead and book you in a very special match this Sunday at No Way Out. I gotta admit, you're tougher than I figured, player. I never thought you'd make it to No Way Out. But I can just about guarantee that you won't survive it. You see, this Sunday, in the pay-per-view main event, it's gonna be you against Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle and WWE Champion John Cena in Hell in a Cell.
A 3-on-1 Hell in a Cell handicap match.
Teddy Long's putting the screws to this guy for sure. I didn't ever think he could even have a 3-on-1 Hell in a Cell match. I'll tell you right now, there's no way this guy's gonna survive that.
What the? That's Eddie Guerrero. He's supposed to be in tonight's main event.
Well, from the looks of things, I'd say Latino Heat ain't gonna make it. He looks to be down for the count to me.
Who could have done such a thing?
Gee, Cole, what a brain teaser. I mean, who do you know around here who's got a history of taking guys out backstage in order to solve his problems? Gosh, you think Teddy Long might have a clue?
Well, this handicap Hell in a Cell match is just about ready to get underway, despite the fact that the fourth man in this match, Eddie Guerrero, was found unconscious in the locker room just moments ago.
So instead of a 3-on-1, it's a 2-on-1. But since the two are Kurt Angle and John Cena, I can't say the odds get much better for the #1 contender.
Can you feel the heat?
Wait a minute! That's Eddie Guerrero's music! Is Eddie actually going to make it to the ring after the beating he took earlier? What the? That's Triple H! That's Raw's World Heavyweight Champion! What the hell is he doing here?
It's all about the game, and how you play it. All about control, and if you can take it, it's all about your debt, and if you can pay it, it's all about pay. Who's gonna make it? I am the game, you don't wanna play me. I am control, no way you can shake me. I am heavy debt, no way you
Don't look now, Cole, but I think the game is teaming up with the #1 contender for tonight's main event. This 2-on-1 has turned into a tornado tag match.
In a cell, no less. By the way, I think now we know who attacked Eddie Guerrero earlier. But why would Triple H do such a thing? You've got to believe
This is honestly one of the coolest storylines I played in a game. I think that's one of the things why, you know, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 is so memorable, is because, you know, even though when you actually look at it, for each show you really only have 4 storylines throughout the entirety of the season mode for each brand. And but that said, they're so well done and so, like, in my opinion, each and every one of them is so memorable that, you know, it just sticks out and stuff like that. So it's definitely a less is more type of deal. And obviously you have the branching story paths, which I believe after this match is what we're gonna experience. And you know, it's cool. I mean, Triple H coming down to freaking help me in this match, so he can, you know, get my favor or whatever. I mean, that's such a Triple H thing to do.
Wow, look at that confidence. He's letting
Plus, it's cool because, I mean, like, you actually get a 2-on-2 freaking Hell in a Cell match for once in one of these games. Apparently, they actually did at one point, because everybody hated the Armageddon Hell in a Cell. And, you know, I actually liked it a lot. I get it. Because it was kind of like a lot of brawling and slow pace and stuff like that. But I thought they had some cool moments. But, well, there goes Kurt Angle. But, apparently, I think it was around like 2012 or something like that. Around like the 2015, the 2010 era or whatever. I think it was like it was something where it wasn't broadcast. Like, I don't want to say it was a house show, because why would they have a Hell in a Cell in a house show? But they had a 5-man, like, Hell in a Cell match. And apparently people say that went down really well. They had, like, John Cena and Dolph Ziggler and maybe Jack Swagger. I can't remember the exact time period it was in. I never got to watch it, but apparently it was actually pretty good. And the WWE was considering doing multi-man Hell in a Cells again. And, oh, geez, of course. Well, at least he reversed it, I guess, but that doesn't help me. But, yeah, I think it wasn't until later when, like, Hell in a Cell, I think they started, like, the New Day and the Usos became big when they started doing multi-man once again. Because I remember watching the Usos versus freaking New Day in Hell in a Cell, and that was a pretty cool match. And they had, like, tables and stuff like that. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, thank goodness John Cena fell. Yeah, one thing you got to be careful of, too, is you don't want to run at people. Because if you do and they dodge their attack, you can just run right off. But if you are quick enough, you know, press triangle and you'll stop running. But if you don't, well, something like that will happen. Man, I feel like I have more damage than I should. Man, you got to be freaking precise for that reverse thing. I should have gotten that, but we've already established I'm not very good at submissions in this game. Got to get away from him. Come on, I want to throw you through the damn top of the cell. Go! Alright, we're actually in trouble here, folks. Come on, Triple H, help me. Oh, thank God. He's an idiot. If he went for the pin there, that probably would have honestly been the match.
I hope this isn't the last time we see these superstars face off.
But I'm still dead set on trying to slam through the center of the thing. And like the AI is smart. Like as you can see, they avoid stepping into the center. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Come on. Good. Jeez, Carlito has like no moves though, like freaking no belly to back moves.
Can you believe this match so far, Cole?
I really can't, Taz. This isn't anything like what I expected from these competitors.
Triple H is actually okay. Then I don't know what happened there, but I was gonna say he's dominating John Cena down there. All right, all we need to do is one more. Come on, come on. What? Come on. Also, the Hell in a Cell playthroughs back in the day, those things were awesome. It's too bad they don't really make them anymore. I think the reason why is because it's literally Hell in a Cell, so it's like Mattel's like, oh man, we can't sell that to kids. Even though they added a cell where it's just called the Cell or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, kids these days, they kind of don't really know how good we had it back when Mattel first came out, because they had like play sets of everything. Alright, we did it. Wait a second, hold on. I was supposed to win the match. Well, Triple H stealing the spotlight once again. Big surprise. But anyway, we won the match. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Check back next week where we will have the finale of Carlito's story on SmackDown in season mode. But above all else, please remember to have a nice day.